John here, Hot Rods in the Woods. Little pre-story before I get to go in here. I just got a spam phone call, knock that out. Hey, just wanted to touch base. Let me take my glasses off because I can't see the phone. Just wanted to touch base a little bit about what's going on here. I combined these last two videos real quick just because, well, I didn't do a lot of content the last few days. It was raining, it was crummy, I didn't feel like working, had a bunch of dental work done, blah, blah, blah. You don't care, it doesn't really matter. All is good now. Currently, I'm working on the wiring of this fine unit and playing with the steering column, which we bought. It's too short, so I have to get another piece of D tubing in order to make that work. And fiddling around with some other stuff, like all of this conglomeration, which you'll see in just a few minutes. And I'm playing around in the front. I got some wiring going on here as well. Just trying to put it all together. We're getting closer. Things will start to come together pretty quick now. At 67 years old, tend to move a little bit slower, so I just haven't been doing as much as I could be because it's been miserable. So now I'm getting up a little earlier in the morning because right now in the barn, I'll take a walk over here to where the apartment is going to be at one point or another. It is currently 82 degrees. It's about 90 outside. It's just hot. So the older you get, the more the heat messes with you. So that being said, I hope you enjoy these two combined videos. I'll put a little bit of editing in the middle so you know what's going on, and enjoy your day. Hope it's nice and warm and pretty out where you are, because it sure is here. I should be out in a boat, but I sold it too. Bye for now. Hi guys, Hot Rods in the Woods. Here's a little quick video just showing you what's happening around here. I have built this console. She ain't much, but it goes behind the shifter. This will be the door. I'm waiting on more vinyl, so I'll have a place to store some stuff. It's going to be that teal blue color. A couple cup holders in it, of course, that actually light up. So most of it you aren't going to see, but it'll do the job for now. So, moving ahead, this is what has been accomplished. It breaks my heart to say that I am missing an important piece of molding, but I have a headliner going in. And remember, this is our first attempt at ever doing anything like this. We have no idea what we're doing. I could not use the bows underneath it, so I've used them on top of it, just colored matched. And I'm missing the piece that goes between the back window and the trim, so I'm slowly putting the trim in. I also cushioned the sides, made them look at least a little better. So that came out quite well. But the trim, as we talked about, has some rusted spots. It has weight reduced to the point where, what are you going to do? So we're plugging away. I get this done in the next day or so. The weather's going to be crummy. So then I'm going to go ahead and get out and start driving it some more. I have to move the seat belts because they'll interfere with the console at this point. Let's get a little light on the subject. I was going to change the shifter, decided not to. Moving the woofer, and I'll revamp some of this stuff to get it all tucked away. But there's where the console's going. I've got plenty of room. It's about 1 foot wide. Seats are in. New steering stuff is in. Now I've got to pull the dash apart, replace that tachometer because it's bad, and get her start cleaned up. There's a brilliant friggin' sentence for you. My English teacher would be proud. Not. Anyhow, guys, we're plugging away. Lots of stuff in the works. Getting ready to put the plug wires and Pertronix electronic ignition in this, and then start wiring the dashboard. But that's the artwork I came up with for the Model A sedan delivery. Thought you might like that. It's pretty cool. Really dresses the side of the car well. So this is going to be another neat one coming down the pipe soon. Hope you're having a great day. look forward to seeing everybody on the Hot Rod Power Tour. If you can't make it, we'll be on a bunch of the local stuff, and we'll be around. So I'll be back soon. All right, guys, back with just a little follow-up on the working on the console and the upholstery stuff. I did find that piece of molding. It was buried up in the back. It actually rusted into the car. So what I did was I went to the U-Pull-It yard and I got this. That is the tailgate protector for a F-150. And I cut it down. But I just wanted to show you how everything kind of turned out. Pretty cool, huh? So there's the headliner. And I know it's got some wrinkles. I've still got to heat it up with a heat gun and shrink it down a little bit, but I know it's not perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but it's pretty clean. It looks pretty good. And I want y'all to understand that we are in this upholstery, the entire interior, for less than $400. Yes, there's time involved, but for $400 it looks pretty darn good. It's our first attempt. We had no idea what we were doing, but it works. It's quieter. It looks better. It doesn't rain rust on me. And everything on this car I've done by myself on a budget. Everything underneath done on a budget. I found a used 8.8 with disc brakes and 410s. I found a used set of ladder bars. I did have to have a drive shaft made. I found a used T56, which if you watch my videos, you know I blew it up. I had to build it myself and make it better. Everything in here. The gauge cluster from Summit. All of this I built myself. Everything you see. My wife did the door panels. I moved the tilt front end. I built the motor. I put the straight axle in. Everything. So, yeah, you guys can say a lot. The only thing I didn't do was cut this old girl in half and shorten it. I wish I had. I would have made it so it had a full-size door. It would have been about a foot longer, and it would have worked better. But everything I've done myself. Everything I've done on a budget. I don't have the big bucks that some of you guys do that can do everything and spend the money. So I hope you like it. There'll be more to come. We've still got a lot to do. So I'll be back. In the meantime, here comes a 1930 Model A. Bye for now. Hey everybody, John here, Hot Rods in the Woods, with a little simplification on how to do wiring on an old hot rod. A lot of you will go out and spend a whole bunch of money on a wiring harness. And to be honest with you, they're great. There's nothing wrong with them. But they've been copied so many times that you can find a much better deal just going to the store online that starts with an A and buying a cheap one. But here's a couple things you need to fix. Number one, on the back of the fuse block, which I'm not, well, can I show you one? I believe I can. It says harness. Let's get some parts out of the way here. I have way too many things. Irons in the fire here. We've got 3 cars trying to happen all at once. All right, let's pull this out. Sorry about my videoing prowess here. I could edit all this out, but why would I? Ain't this fun? All right, so this harness is a cheapie. Reasonably inexpensive, let's put it that way. The one thing you want to watch for is the connections on the back of the fuse block. Now, if you look at these, they're pretty well crimped. But I always take a real close look and make sure that they're crimped well and they're locked in place. Every one of these wires is labeled. Well, you can see those, but every single one of them, just like the high-end stuff. I had a wiring shop in Port Charlotte, Florida for a while called Wired Rods, and I used to make custom harnesses, and I would hide them all and all that stuff. And then Painless came along, and of course, everybody thought they were a wiring guru, so off they go. But here's a way to make it simpler. Number one, I yanked the steering column out. We're changing that. But compartmentalize your wires. And when I say that, what I mean is I took all the wires for the tail, including the fuel gauge, right turn, left turn, park, and even, what's this one? That's left rear turn. One of these, I believe, says dome. Yeah, dome light. And I just ran them around the back, threw a few wire ties on them, so now I know they go to the back of the car. I ran them all the way around the front, and here they are. Just another spam call trying to sell me something. So then, now this is what the guy had done. This ain't me. This is the windshield wiper switch. I don't know where that wire goes. It's not marked. But same thing. Put them all together. Get them out of the way. Headlight switch, same way. I wired the dashboard and made a harness here. And what I did was I cut a small piece off of every one of the wires for the sending units, including the turn signal indicators, the high beam indicator, oil, temperature, and voltage, and put them on the ends of these wires so that I know exactly where they all go. These are out of the way, headed for the dashboard. Everything else, once again, is labeled. Come around here. I've just thrown them through the firewall at this point, so I know that all this stuff is to the front. Then I've checked my continuities and made sure everything is in the right direction. Now from here, what you need to do is you need to shorten wires. They give you enough for a pickup truck with a long bed and 4 doors. So as you get closer, trim the ends so that they actually fit in place. Don't do a ball of wire hidden up underneath the dashboard because it looks cheap. It also makes it more difficult. Now, if you do run into a wire that is too short, once again, cut a piece of the original wire off. I believe I've done it back here. No, I guess not. Cut a piece of the original wire off with the label, whatever it says, this being the dome wire. That won't quite focus that close. But cut a piece of it off with the word on it. Use the exact same color wire, extend the wire, and then solder and shrink the labeled wire to the end. That way, if you're in the car and you have a problem with the dome light, you look at the front, it's a white wire, says dome on it. You know that that white wire goes all the way to the back, and on the end it says dome on it. Makes it much easier to track down shorts, problems, or anything else you may have. Not to mention, if you need to splice into it to add something, you know that that white wire is dome. So now some of these are not the greatest. There are 2 black wires in this harness that say, what do they say? They say, sorry, I had some dental work done and I'm still talking with a lisp. They say, this is AC compressor power on a black wire. And this is, what's it say? AC compressor power. So this comes off of the fuse block. This goes to the AC compressor in the front of the car. So you've got to watch your labeling. But that's the most important part. From there, just go ahead and have at it. Don't be afraid of it. Now, I'll give you a couple of hints on here. Be sure anything with power that is not connected is cut short and shrink wrapped. The reason I say that, this harness actually has a wire here for a cigarette lighter. If you aren't going to use that, cut it short. Still, we want to be able to read the word for later. Put a piece of shrink wrap on the end of it so the end is sealed. Now, in this particular instance, I'm going to use that for the USB port charging for the phone or whatever. So hope that helps. We'll be continuing on here. It also helps to have two different voltmeters, one that you can check resistance with, and the other you can do DC volts all at the same time without swapping meters, swapping leads, and all of that stuff. Another thing I like to do is on both meters, because they use the same wires, I put one sharp connector on the, or sharp pin on the other one, so I can poke a wire or poke the end of the wire, and then on the other end I put a alligator clip or a clamp so that I can actually hook it to a wire, walk away, and pin the other and listen for a beep on my meter. Hope this helps, guys. Have a great day. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll be back.